hate that it does that. All right. We're ready to go.
All right.
It's exactly 7 o'clock when we're meant to be on for CouchCon, and we're just going to give it a few minutes so people have a chance to get here and make sure that you guys can hear us and see us okay, and then we'll get started. This should be streaming right now to both Twitch and Facebook, so let us know if anything goes wrong on one of the platforms. I can see the Twitch chat on the sidebar, but I won't be able to see Facebook very well.
Yeah.
So yep, we'll give it a few minutes for everyone to get here, and then we'll dive right in. For anyone who tends to come to our Friday night live streams, you're going to hear a lot of repeats because we need to explain who we are to people who have never seen us before and don't know what Fire Sphere is, so just bear with. And if you see Carol looking down a lot, she's just checking the chat and making sure that she can answer everybody.
There's a little bit of a lag, so we'll have to wait a bit.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I tried to turn off the lag. I did the best I could, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag, but...
Is it too bad?
Couple seconds.
A couple seconds is fine, as long as it's not like a full minute or the 20 seconds that Streamlabs had on.
Yeah, there's a couple seconds.
That's fine. But yeah, we'll just chill for a few minutes. Do you want to turn on SoundCloud to entertain people while we're waiting or anything? Or as long as...
I don't know, because I'll have to unplug the...
I mean, that's up to you, as long as you don't... I just wondered if you wanted to make sure that the lag wasn't too bad, that's all. So as long as it's okay, we're okay to keep people entertained. How's Facebook doing? I have Twitch up right here, so I'll be able to see Twitch. I just can't see Facebook.
Alright, so... Okay, you have Twitch up there. Alright, Let me see. Let me see.
I see that. We're live on there. Yeah, sorry if we have to look to the side every so often. Unfortunately, since Facebook isn't exactly made for streaming, it has like a full minute lag on it. So when she has to respond to people's comments, it's going to be very delayed compared to where Twitch is.
Alright, let me just take off... Since you're on Twitch, I'm going to take this off then.
Yep.
You're going to comment on Twitch, and I'll comment here.
Yep.
Alright.
I see some people. We'll wait till we have 3 to 5 people, and then we'll actually start the whole thing up for everybody. Because I don't see anyone on Twitch just yet.
Nope, not yet. We'll just wait a few more minutes, because it's going to be a...
Yep. There's a viewer. Okay, so this, for anyone who's confused about why we're live on a Thursday, is CouchCon. So yeah, it's another virtual con that we are attending, and you're going to see our faces in the little box up above while we're on this home screen, and afterwards, unfortunately, I'll have to turn it off because it's going to cover some of the slideshow, but we thought it would be nice for you guys to see who's talking to you for a few minutes.
Yep. We're going to be CouchCon today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, but we also have DandyCon on Saturday, too.
Yeah, and we'll go into that in a little more detail in a bit. Actually, while we're waiting for people to show up, I'll be right back. Because, unless you want to get it, I forgot our paper on my chair in there.
Oh, alright. I'll be right back.
But yeah, hello to people watching on Twitch and hello to people watching on Facebook. Once again, for everyone who just got here, there is a pretty substantial lag if you're watching on Facebook of about a full minute. So we're really sorry if we answer your questions there kind of late. We're doing our best. Kara's going to be answering Facebook. I'm going to be answering Twitch. So if you see her put her head down here and there, that's all she's doing. Should be to the side of the chair.
What side?
I don't know. Okay, so Kara's coming back in, and then we're gonna dive right in. Forgot my notes in there. I'm not used to needing them.
Saturday we'll have a. Did you say? Saturday we'll have a mini trivia.
No, I didn't.
So, on Saturday, we're going to have a little mythology mini
You have to get closer.
trivia.
Yeah, we do that about once a month usually on our Facebook and Twitch accounts. We host a mythology trivia night where you can win fun Fire Sphere prize packs. And it's just a good time to get to know everybody, all of our followers and stuff. And okay, now that we have some people viewing it, unfortunately I'm going to have to kill the box where you can see our faces so that I can go to the next slide. But at least you got to see who's talking for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. So, as you can see on the screen, as we just mentioned, we go live on Twitch and Facebook every Friday night at 8. We are in Pennsylvania, so if you have a different time zone, you're going to have to kind of adjust accordingly. And we talk about all kinds of stuff, anything from the book series itself, to upcoming projects, to merchandise, to just how to create your own graphic novel series. We do have some lives on that. If you are new here, we do keep a copy of the live stream on Facebook forever, so you'll always be able to go back and watch it again if you want to learn some more. I believe some of the more educational videos we've done already are how to create a well-rounded character, how to have a story arc that works for a multi-part graphic novel series. So we do some educational stuff. Kara has also done a live stream where she taught people how to do, it was vector shading, right?
Yes. And I'll have more of those type of drawings in the future. I'm going to go into like how to go from sketch to line art to flat coloring to putting the panels all together, that kind of stuff, and like future ones. And I think that will be really cool for everyone to learn. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's all kinds of stuff that we talk about. We do kind of obviously tie into Fire Sphere since that is what we're working so hard on. But we want to help you guys. We don't like that mentality of, well, I just want to be on top and stomp everyone below me. Like, if we feel like we're doing well, we want to help you do well too. So hopefully people have fun and learn something in those lives. And really quickly, we do want to offer thanks to CouchCon for hosting us. It was really nice. It's been a hard year with the COVID virus and everything. Just about every convention either has been canceled or pretty much will be canceled. And it's been kind of a hard blow for a lot of people where the convention scene is where they make a majority of their money or a majority of their audience. So we truly appreciate the fact that CouchCon decided to host a virtual con for us. And then on Saturday, we also have DandyCon. CouchCon is going to be more of a pop culture and comic books one. DandyCon is an LGBT-oriented convention, and we're going to be at that one as well. So thank you to both CouchCon and DandyCon for hosting us. And Kara, do you want to tell them what BookFest is? That's one that's not this weekend. It's coming up. Tell them what it is.
What, the
BookFest?
BookFest. Yes, so BookFest. Yes, BookFest is a part of the Central PA Arts Fest that takes place every July, and so it's supposed to happen this year, but they went virtual. So it's gonna be 4 days of creators. Like, this is either writers, comic book artists, but I'm going to be taking place in a drink and draw that we're going to have we're gonna have to have like a person telling us like what to draw, or we're gonna have to have like something drawn up for it, taking like we can show them what we're doing and that kind of stuff. So, but throughout the whole weekend, that's July 8th.
July 9th at 8 to 9 p.m.
Ah, yes. So, okay.
Yeah, just it's really nice how many different conventions and arts fests are doing their best to make things go virtual. We're kind of lucky this virus happened during the technological age so that we do have the opportunity to do things like this. So once again, thank you to everything you see on the screen. And before we proceed further, it will probably be kind of nice for you to actually know who's talking to you. So since technically Firesphere belongs to Kara, the person in the orange wig, and the person who's closer to the screen in the top left photo. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself first, talk about her educational background, and then I'll do the same so that you know we actually know what we're talking about when we're discussing graphic novel creation.
Yes, so my name's Kara Ballinger, and I went to South Hills for graphic design, and I specialize in digital art and illustration, but my background is graphic design and stuff. And I wanted to take those classes to be able to make my own graphic novel series at some point in the future, and so that's what my background is. But I came up with Firesphere back in 7th grade. And oh, okay.
But yeah, you do a lot of freelance work too, right?
Yes, I do commissions for fan art or logos, designs for small businesses, and anything that everybody gets, just anything that anybody wants. Business cards.
Yeah, so the education and the work experience doesn't end just at where you went to school, which is kind of interesting because it is unfortunately extremely difficult to get a job in the arts these days. People don't take it that seriously. In fact, they kind of never have. So you just have to really put yourself out there, which is exactly what you've done, which is great.
So yeah, that's me, and you can just follow all my little drawing tutorials on here or Twitch, wherever you prefer, and I'll have more of those soon. So.
And my name is Mads, the one in the red wig and creeping behind Kara in the top left picture. And my background, what I went to school for, was mainly creative writing, although I did take art courses as well. I am one of those kids that never stopped drawing. If my mom was like, well, I don't want you parked in front of the television, what are you going to do today to entertain yourself? It was like, I want to do art. Give me the finger paints. So I've been drawing since, teeny tiny fetushood. And I got to a point where my artistic life kind of started to stagnate a little bit, and that's around the same time that I met Kara, and that's when she was trying to turn Firesphere into an actual series. But it's really difficult. Anyone who creates a graphic novel on their own can tell you it's extremely difficult, if not sometimes impossible, to do that much work on your own, especially when you have a full-time job as well, which is what was happening to her. So she kind of asked me one night if I was interested in helping her bring it to life. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? And that's when I decided to help her with the inking and the coloring and the backgrounds in the book series. So that's a little bit about us. Hopefully we're interesting enough. And now we can tell you a little bit more about the series itself. You want to talk about the history of Firesphere or
Sure.
what it's about or anything?
Yeah, so I came up with Firesphere back in 7th grade. It expanded from like a basic storyline to what it is now. Like before, I didn't really have a lot of mythology elements to it, but it was more like a high school type of setting. So as I got older, I didn't want to do that because there's a lot of anime shows or Western style shows that kind of take place in school already. So I wanted something different. So I wanted to focus more on the fantasy aspect, and then I kept taking figure drawing classes. I kept trying to improve my style because my style kept changing all the time. And I wanted to be confident that once I start a project that it's always going to be similar or gets better over time, but still enough that you can still tell that it's ours.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with progressing your style and having it get better over time. It's better to have that happen than be one of those people that completely changes it to a point where people don't even recognize it's your art anymore.
Correct. And what else I try to do is I wanted to create characters that were really dynamic, but also a lot of people like mythology, and everything is just focused on one. And I wanted to combine a bunch of different legends, a bunch of different mythologies, all together in one series, and people can follow along with my characters, but also know, we see some of the gods and goddesses a certain way. And this is what the series is about, is that you follow Gabrielle, the main character, to all these different realms, and just meeting them. And then she gets pulled into this group of fire sphere wielders. And
yeah, why don't we back up a minute, because I'm sure a lot of people who are going to see this today have no idea what this is. Why don't you start, if you're talking about the story, right at the beginning? Like, who is Gabby? Where do we start with her, and how does she kind of get to where she is in, like, book one?
Yeah. So Gabrielle, she wakes up in complete darkness. All she sees is an orange cat that leads her to purgatory or limbo, whatever you like to call it. And she arrives, all these different beings are there. No one's really they're just like bumping into her. She's like totally like,
she's just helpless. She has no idea where she is, who she is, or what's going on, and everyone around her is just in a panic and chaos because they're aware of the fact that they're dead. She doesn't know what she is or what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So she just kind of shows up in front of poor Kyoji, one of our many Grim Reapers.
Yep. And Kyoji is one of the Grim Reapers in charge of the series of elevators that takes them either to some portion of the underworld in different mythologies, or wherever everybody like goes in the afterlife, other type of mythology, like Egyptian. So these elevators take you to those different realms. And Kyoji finds Gabrielle and is like, okay, who is this? Because his, essentially their little iPads, his little sensor comes up as like, there's like nothing about her. So
yeah, it essentially, since it pretty much just displays an error message, according to his documents, she never existed at all. It's not that she's dead, it's just that she doesn't exist, but obviously she does because she's standing there.
Mm-hmm. And what happens is that Kyoji is really concerned and decides to take her to Dr. Hyde, exactly what you think it is. It's just a female version of Mr. Hyde. She's a mad scientist that is in charge of the wielders. And Kyoji takes her to her, and then Hyde is automatically like really interested in who she is because she's totally new. And then she wants to try to like make her a guinea pig, that kind of thing. And then she is thrust into the Egyptian realm shortly after that.
Totally against her will. It's an absolute accident.
Yes. Because...
well, we don't want to spoil why.
But she gets thrust into the Egyptian realm where Angs, the Egyptian goddess and daughter of Ra,
And don't worry if you don't recognize that name and you're into Egyptology. She is created by Kara. She's not like part of traditional Egyptian mythology. She's the guardian of all the realms, not just the realm of Egypt. She's in charge of every mythological realm you can think of and keeping them safe.
Yeah. So she is in charge by bringing Gabrielle back because she went into her realm and they don't know why. I mean, they know why, but I'm not going to get into that. But they shortly find out that Gabby is very, very useful for their team and then have her become a part of it. And that's basically like what their role is to help the different realms from the destruction of Spectre, which is the antagonist of the story. And
he's destroying realms and the leaders of each mythological realm, but nobody knows why. So they're kind of tasked with finding out what he's doing, why he's doing it, and keeping him from destroying it before he's able to successfully do so.
Yep. And that's basically like what happens in it. They go to different realms whenever there's something that High gets notification of that something is going wrong. An army is attacking the Celtic realm. And then they go and try to like fix that and try to prevent Spectre from wreaking havoc.
Yep. But yeah, there's some colored versions of some of what you've seen so far and some stuff that you haven't. We like using really bright colors, and in fact, we tend to sell out of every copy we bring to every Comic-Con that we attend, and one of the main things that draws people in is the bright colors. They're like, wow, we usually either see just black and white, almost manga style, or if there is color, we just see, like black, blue, red, gray. That's about it, not a ton of brights. And they love it. It captivates them, it gets them interested, and it made sense for the story of Fire Sphere because when you're thinking of different mythological realms, you're thinking of different world cultures. Each country, when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, I associate that with certain colors. Like, I'm sure that you can tell, looking at your screen right now, which ones are Egyptian, which ones are Celtic, by looking at the color scheme. So it's just kind of one of those fun little details that we always put in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And although, of course, the graphic novel series is an extremely important part of Fire Sphere, we technically are Fire Sphere Designs, and we are more than just a graphic novel series. So if you are interested in picking up the books based on what you just heard, you can go to firesphere.org/shop and see our store page. We have tons of different merch, which we'll discuss later on. But we also wanted to let you know about some of the other services that we offer. So Kara can kind of walk you through the what we do section here.
Sure. Of course, there's original graphic novel series that Maz and I create, and we make about 3 volumes a year, and each one consists of between 116 pages to 160. So you're getting a
well-rounded story.
Yes, in 6 volumes. It's a little bit different than most volumes because each volume for us is a chapter. A lot of like regular type of comics are in signatures, and I felt like for our story we need to tell something different. It's graphic novel instead, and they don't have like chapter covers like in most manga pages either, so you're just like continuing like reading because you don't have to stop in between like pages to see a chapter cover. So it's just like when you first open a book, chapter 1 Firestarter, and then volume 2 comes out, chapter 2, that kind of thing. So that's what's pretty much different from the normal comics and graphic novels. It's just like a chapter. And then next we have personal commissions. I can create anything that anybody like wants. Just like let's say professional like award. That there's a graphic I made for a psychology. Was it Michigan? Was it
Yeah, that was actually part of the graphic design and professional work, I'd say, more so than personal commissions. Personal commissions would be more like if you told us right this second during the live stream, I like your art style, can you pull up your iPad right now and just whip up a quick sketch of Aquaman in this pose? We can do that for like $10.
Yeah.
If you want full color, then it's more like $20. If you want it to be like a GIF, then it keeps going like that. And we'll draw pretty much whatever you want. Like, we're not here to judge you. We had someone approach us at a Comic-Con going, well, I'd like you to draw my favorite ship, but it's a little bit weird. And it's like, well, we're not here to, like, judge you or care about what it is that you ship or don't ship. Like, we're just here to draw it for you. I'll happily draw anything within reason. Obviously, like, no, like, hate symbols or anything. That should be a given. But, yeah, more or less, we'll draw anything that you want.
Yep.
And then we've got the fan art, which kind of falls into that and kind of doesn't. We have a lot of pre-made fan art that section you're not necessarily going to find in the shop. Instead, with the fan art, if you're interested in like the style of the Aquaman on the bottom of the screen or something, all you have to do is go to the portion of the website called Gabby's Sketchbook. That's our portfolio. Look through, pull up whatever piece you like. There is a chat function I added to our website, and just say, hey, I really like, this Batman picture or something. I'd really like it if you could send it to me in this size, and we'll just do our best to accommodate you.
Yep. And then t-shirt design, we can put anything on a shirt from our graphic novel series to anything that you would like. So
when it gets to fan stuff, it's a little bit trickier because of copyright. I mean, we can still kind of wiggle through it a little bit, but it is a little bit easier when it's Firesphere related. And the picture you see of the girl in the t-shirt on this slide, that is a graphic tee. Those are a little bit more expensive than the regular standard t-shirts because the way they put the ink on is a little bit different, and it covers the entire front of the shirt rather than a small portion. We also, this is a little bit to the side, but we do photography for families and individuals as well. It's not our like main thing that we do, but Kara has done some Christmas photos for families before that were really well liked, so there is that as well.
Yep.
And why don't you tell them what's on the screen that's in pre-production right now?
Yeah, so we're in the pre-production of our animated series. And we don't have a lot about it yet. We're still working on the details and stuff, but it's essentially going to be all independent, and then we're going to go from there and just like create a minute trailer for everybody to get hyped and
the first episode is going to be totally free and streaming from our website because I don't know about you guys, but I can think a trailer is as cool as anybody else, but generally speaking, if I'm going to actually put money into like buying an episode of a streamable series, I want to see the whole pilot. I want to know from like a half hour to an hour long episode, am I actually going to care about this? Am I going to want to buy it? So we want to be fair to you guys. We're going to give you the first episode completely free so you can decide how you feel about it, and then the rest of them will be like $1.99 per episode, or you can wait and then buy the whole season. And seasons will be between 8 and 10 episodes. They're going to be about a half hour long. We have someone who is going to be doing the soundtrack for it, which is going to be amazing. The soundtrack is going to be influenced by the mood of the atmosphere and the characters in each scene and by whatever culture they're a part of. So if you're in the Egyptian realm, it's going to have an Egyptian flair. If you're in a Chinese realm, it's going to have a Chinese flair. It's going to be really cool. And we also have, basically everything's being done in-house. We have the equipment needed for voice overs already, so we've got, voice talent lined up and everything. And Kara and I, since we create the graphic novel series together, obviously we know what we want it to look like, so we're actually the animators.
Yep. Yeah, for now, until we want to hire more people on with us. And if you know anybody that wants to be a part of it, we're taking
submissions.
Yes. Submissions. I was looking for the word. So, but yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be fine with just the two of us for the first few and everything. I mean, our end goal is basically after we finish the entirety of season 1, we're planning on pitching it to Netflix and Hulu and seeing whether or not they're interested in picking it up. So that's the big goal for the end of it. And now we're going to let you take a look. These are the volume covers, and the links below them are some places that you can see previews. We made sure that when creating our website, we weren't expecting you to just buy a book with nothing but a quick synopsis beside it. So if you go to firesphere.org/book-previews, you just have to click on each of these book covers and it will take you to a whole new link that leads you to basically the first 20 or so pages of each book, so you can decide whether or not you like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also available as both ebooks and physical copies, so make sure that if you're interested in one, you buy the right one.
Yep.
You want to say anything else about the books, or?
Just that... I don't know. What else should... Just... They're on our website, and... What?
Yeah, and going back to the merch stuff from before really quick, if you're reading through one of these books and you really like a certain page and you want to see if we can put it on a piece of merch, whether it's a tote bag or a coaster or a print or a shirt, whatever, just let us know. We can usually make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some of the other stuff that is available for purchase. Obviously, we couldn't put everything in the slideshow or it would go on forever because we've been doing this a long time. But as you can see, we've got books, we've got fan art. We also have, if you see the little pirate ship and the whale ones, those are made out of spray paint, entirely out of spray paint on canvas. We do stuff like that too. So if you're someone who enjoys a good spray paint piece, you can give us kind of an idea of what you'd like to see, and we can usually make that happen. We also dabble a little bit in acrylic, so we do both traditional and digital media.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a variety of fandoms that we like to include in our fan art pieces, and people seem to like them a lot, which is really cool. I mean, I'm glad that they like it. We have gotten to the point, though, where about 60 or 70%, depending on the con of what we sell, is Firesphere related directly rather than just the fan art, but, I mean, we still love drawing whatever makes you guys happy.
Yep. That's some more.
Yep, and there's some other ones that you might enjoy. And once again, for regular Firesphere-related merch, you go to firesphere.org/shop. And if you are more interested in these fan art pieces instead, then you just go to Gabby's sketchbook on the website instead of the shop and pick one out, and then just tell us in the chat how you want it. Do you want just the digital download? Do you want an 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, or 13 by 19? And we'll get that all made up for you. We'll let you know what the cost of shipping is if you need the physical copy. And yeah, we can do all the way up to 13 by 19. After that, it gets a little bit dicey, but we at least can go up to there.
Yep.
And then we are getting better at being more active on social media now that we kind of know what we're doing. As we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we go live on both Facebook and on Twitch. It can be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. It just depends on the night. We discussed anything Firesphere related, and we try to help teach you how to bring your own graphic novel to life. We also hold monthly trivia nights. Mm-hmm. And we also are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. On our YouTube, we put a combination of copies of the live streams so that you can watch them after the fact. And we also sometimes put up something like, for example, there's something called Meet Oms, where we're going to be talking more in depth about each of the stories in the Firesphere series so that you can get to know them a little bit better. Twitter, you know.
Yep.
And yeah, our Reddit is brand new as of only a couple days ago, but we're having a lot of fun there. We're gaining some, halfway decent following for only being a couple of days old. And to the left on this page, I gave you the menu from our website so you can see kind of what's available on there. I made sure that it would be very interactive with any fans of Fire Sphere. We didn't want it to just be like, oh, you have to hunt down our email and that's the only way you can talk to us unless you see the live stream. So there's a forum where you guys are free to create whatever topic you want. Just start a forum. Like, it'd be really cool to talk about mythology there, or fantasy, or how you're doing your own graphic novel, answering each other's questions. And there's also a chat room. The regular chat you see when you first get to the homepage, that's more for you to ask us questions. There is an official chat room where you can talk to each other and meet each other.
Yep. And another point, we're going to have another tab that you'll get to know a little bit about each character in the book that we come across. Mm-hmm.
Give it a second. The slideshow gets tired. So this is a little bit different. This is something that we've actually discussed on some of our more official live streams before. We have had a lot of people interested over the past year or so in Fire Sphere plushies, which is pretty easy because in mythology, a lot of different mythological figures are represented by some kind of animal. So what you see on your screen right now are some of the sketchy ideas we have. We already have a vendor lined up. She's ready whenever we are. The goal is have all of you guys let us know out of what you see, or even out of what maybe you don't see, what mythological figure would you like to see brought to life in the form of a cute little plush figure? Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have prototypes made up where you'll be able to actually see the physical finished product so you can decide whether or not you're happy with it. And once we have like 4 or 5 designs, we're going to develop a Kickstarter where we're going to try to back funding so that you guys can get them. The reason we have to do a Kickstarter is because, unfortunately, when it comes to plushies, you do have to bulk order them. There isn't really a way for you to get one at a time without it costing an enormous fortune. So you have to get them in lots of 300 to 500 pieces. So we'll have enough for like a good few years after that, but yeah, the little cow is a representation of Hathor, and that's more or less what she'll look like, only in like rough sketch form. We've got an Anubis, a Bastet, possibly a Sobek, because that's a little bit different, something you don't really see. Possibly, that is not the Horus, that is our Horus, Am's pet snake from the series.
Yes.
And then the top right, on the left side, that's just another idea for Anubis, that maybe he can be lying down instead of sitting up. There's a Medusa. The little deer can be interpreted as multiple different ones, actually.
And then there's Chili, the little ghost that becomes Gabrielle's little pal. Mm-hmm. That was made out of hookah smoke.
But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to discuss in terms of the plushie designs, what you expect from them, what they should expect from us? Okay, I'm trying to give you the floor so that you're able to talk a little bit more. I feel like I'm doing all the talking today. But yeah, so even if you're brand new here, even if this is the first time you've ever seen us before, that's okay. Still just give us an idea. One design that isn't up on the screen right now that a girl gave us was possibly Hel or Hela from Norse mythology, which is a cute idea. So if you have an idea for a little kind of animal-based or something that'll translate well as like a chibi figure, just let us know. Mm-hmm. Come on. Alright, so now we're getting into a little bit more gritty detail on the animated series. So this is where I'm going to kind of pass the floor over to Kara so she can explain to you what it is you're going to be seeing in the next 2 slides.
So I am slowly putting together character sheets for anybody interested in the animation, helping us out with the animation or voicing the characters. And we're taking submissions, and if you want to know where to submit your clips or anything like that, you can send them to our email address. and or Facebook, wherever is easier for everybody. So I'm putting together these character sheets, and this is going to be a very long project, and it's going to be like a commitment of being on this with us for years.
Oh yeah,
And,
I mean we don't even know when the book series is going to end.
Yeah, and because we're going until we think the story is done. We know when the story is done, but we don't know how long it's going to take to get there. So um, our thing is every 10 books is a season. And so we're on volume 6 right now. So we're
Over halfway
through the first season. And I think it's pretty well written so far, and whenever we dive into the animated series, we're gonna have like more in-depth moments in the scenes, because you can only have like so much expressed in a book, and then so everyone will get to know a little bit more information about everybody and how long the time differs from each day, because in the realms there's no time, so it may seem like, oh, it's not taking them long to like get into relationships and stuff, but in reality for them it's like they could know these people for months.
Yeah, years. That's actually something that gets brought up a couple times in either 1 or 2 volumes so far, where they think, oh, we haven't been gone that long, that was only a day, and they get back to Hyde's lab and she's like, where have you been? It's been 2 weeks. And they're like, oh crap. Mm-hmm. Because everything is a little bit different. I mean, you're in a different realm's time. You're essentially on another planet when you go to another realm. And why don't you explain to them really quick? I'm sure that they've noticed the art style is still very much Fire Sphere, but it looks a little different from the books.
Yes, so the style is going to be like the character sheet, because it's going to be simple for whoever is helping us create it, a little bit different. You don't have to worry about the hair strands like they are in the books and stuff. It's going to be more simplified, but also have a form of Western and anime style, so people will be familiar with both styles of animation. Mm-hmm. And it's all going to be cell shaded and easy to follow. And but yeah, that's pretty much the only difference from that.
And we are looking very heavily into using TV Paint for numerous reasons, one of which being, I mean, it's used by Disney professionals, and so, I mean, it looks amazing. They move really fluidly. It doesn't look like really static like some Flash animation can look, and that's what we want. We don't want this epic fight scene where people are just twitching through it. It has to look really fluid and really good, and they need to move like people. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, if you're not familiar with TV Paint, it reacts very much the way that Photoshop does. So if you're familiar with Photoshop, you'll basically already be familiar with TV Paint. I mean, you've got your layers like you would on Photoshop, only instead of each layer being like, this is my color layer, this is my sketch, it's just basically a new onion skin of like, now she's moving her head a little more and a little more, and it adds its own keyframes that you don't have to worry about then. But yeah, the top part there is an example kind of what you'll be expected to make if you decide to assist us on our journey. Again, no rush or anything. We are okay on our own for now. It's nice to have the help, and we definitely will need it in the future and everything. Right now, we're just doing it ourselves. But yeah, TV Paint, definitely the way to go. It's going to be not necessarily required, but helpful if everyone's using the same softwares, just so that if someone's like, oh, you need to fix your animation, this is what she needs to be doing instead, and you don't have that capability, it's not getting in the way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you look on our Facebook page in the photo albums, there are 2 separate albums regarding the animated series, one of which for potential animators, one of them is for potential voice talent. And since Fire Sphere inclusivity is a very important theme in Fire Sphere. We want this to be a story where everyone feels represented, where everyone feels normalized. There is no, let's just be loud and obnoxious and be like, look, we made this character this way just so that, people aren't going to be mad at us. Like, this is just how we see what normal life should be, like everyone is there. We've got a girl with hearing aids and a wheelchair, and I wanted her because I was tired of the fact that as someone who uses a wheelchair fairly regularly, I don't like the fact that in most graphic novel series, for whatever reason, the person in the wheelchair is relegated to only tech-based jobs. I mean, you're able to do more than that. So she does do more than that. Ams is one of the most important characters in the series. She's Egyptian, so she's like Middle Eastern / African. You've got Funyana, who is Caribbean. You've got people from Ireland, people from Asia. There's going to be like a Japanese American girl at some point in Kyoji's storyline. And none of this is something where you like shine this big spotlight. They just are there. They happen to just be who they are as people. They're human beings behaving like human beings. And we want everyone represented. So when it comes to that stuff, we want to make sure that people are aware of that. If you have some kind of hatred you're harboring for any specific group, move along, because Biosphere doesn't want it. But if you're pretty open-minded, open-hearted, we're here to hang out with you. And then that's just some more fun little merch. You saw the graphic tee before. This, on the far right, is more an example of what a regular standard tee looks like, which is the cheaper option. There's also, in the middle, the lightweight hoodies. And then the left, that's Kyoji, one of our main Reapers, on a different color shirt. Come on, slides. Or not. There we go. But yeah, that's where you can see kind of the difference between the different t-shirt styles. The graphic being kind of cooler. I kind of prefer the graphic myself.
I do too.
You can do a lot more with it. It's a lot easier if you want like a whole panel from the book to put that on this.
Mm-hmm. And everybody seems to like these ones a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about these some more?
These are notebooks. And we can put any, just like the shirts, we can put any type of picture that you like from the books or other type of merch that we have. There's also coasters. Rebel can do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really can. And eventually, like sometime in 2021, ideally, we are going to try to start screen printing our own shirts, which is going to bring the cost down a little bit. And it's also going to just make it a little bit nicer for you guys because we'll have more freedom in what we are able to do. And since that's technically the last slide, I've just decided why not just show you guys the website a little bit. I mean, we've got a few minutes left anyway, may as well, so that you guys can kind of see what we're working so hard on. So this is the homepage of our website. Up at the top left, nice and simple menu up there. This is our Descent into the Immortal Flame. That's the tagline for the Fire Sphere series. And then the blue hair, that's Rue. In the middle is Gabby. And the right is Ams. And then we've got, of course, our chat function. Once again, that's not the chat room. That is so that it's easier for you guys to ask us questions when you're on the website. We have the Wix app on our phone, which means that every time you guys go on our website, we're able to see you doing it, like not who you are or anything. Don't worry, there's like privacy settings and stuff. It'll say like someone's visiting your website. So if you chat us about something, we'll be able to answer you. All of these are clickable links, so if you're like, oh, I'm in the mood to just go, to Reddit or something, you just click on the little Reddit icon and you can go straight there. And then the About is just a quick little blip about our story. Is this working?
Mm-hmm. It's just taking it.
Okay, good. I want to make sure. But yeah, so it says, Descend into the Immortal Flame. Fire Sphere is a dark fantasy and mythologically based series that follows Gabby, a character who appears to be nothing more than a young girl suffering from extreme memory loss, who is abruptly dropped into purgatory. She is forced to integrate integrate herself into the worlds of every mythological realm in existence, where she must simultaneously attempt to regain her memories and find the ability within herself to obtain control over the monster that's growing inside her. So that's just your quick little summary of the series as a whole. And then down here we have a whole bunch of different posters and pages from various books. I mean, a lot has happened in the course of 5 books.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has. And then we've got, of course, our contact page in case you don't feel like doing the chat. Commissions is firespherecontact@gmail.com. If you want something a little more professional, we are also using Mads, M-A-D-S, and Kara at firesphere.org. And then you've got the book previews. You don't have to do the hover effect. You can just click on it. And that ends up taking you to a whole new page where if you think the story sounds interesting, but you're not really sure if it's something you want to spend your money on yet, all you do is click books to open previews. So you're like, I want to know more about Volume 1. Just click on Volume 1. It'll open a whole new window for you, and you'll get a PDF of the first big chunk of the book to get you interested, and that goes for every single volume. So each time we release a new one, it will appear on here the same day that it's up for sale. Gabby's sketchbook is one of my favorite pages, I think. That's the portfolio page. I just think it's really fun the way that's set up. It's on a carousel, and Gabby's the one sitting there controlling it. So in the portfolio, we have a nice mix of both Firesphere art, and then we also have some of the fan pieces in here. It certainly is not everything that we've created over the years. There's more, on our social media and everything, and we'll keep adding more as we create more. But yeah, there's like a nice variety of the various different styles that we employ into our artwork. So if you don't see, the exact one you would like us to mix it, or you want the specific style that's on one of these pictures, you just let us know and let us know what you want us to draw, and we'll just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the live stream and video archive page. Give that a second because I think it fell off for a minute.
Ignore the traffic outside.
So on this page, I try to continuously keep videos on it that change every week. With YouTube, it just depends on what's on YouTube right now. The YouTube one is our Meet the Characters, or when we're explaining what each individual volume is about. That's more these pre-made, well-edited videos. The Twitch stream portion, that is just a copy of the most recent live stream we did on Friday night. So you'll be able to just rewatch it that week, and then each time we have a new one, like for example, what we're doing right now is going to be in place of that tonight. Kickstarter and Patreon is not going to be the most exciting page in the world yet, because as you can see, it's coming soon. But once we're ready, we will have our Kickstarter links and information on our website, as well as the Kickstarter website. And yeah, we're also going to have Ko-fi. We do have a Ko-fi account, Ko-fi, and obviously donations aren't expected, but they are appreciated. The Kickstarters that you can expect to be on here will be for the plushies and for the animated series itself, because we are paying for professional services for things like the voice acting, the animation software, the girl who's doing the soundtrack and everything. So that's what will be there. The shop is one of the big pages. Mm-hmm. That took some time. Here, if you don't feel like hunting it down elsewhere, everything we have to offer that's Firesphere related is right here in the shop. So you just keep on scrolling. You keep on scrolling through it, and we tried to put a nice variety of just about anything you can think of. Phone cases, pillowcases, journals, coasters, whatever. And obviously, you might only see, maybe that style of coaster. If you decide you want a different character, you're like, I really want to see Rue on a coaster set, easy, we can do that too.
Yep.
But yeah, there's tote bags, and my sister actually is the reason we have phone cases. She was like, I got a new phone, I need a case for it, and I really want Tom's on it. So actually, the phone case you're seeing is Meg's phone case that she was extremely happy to have on here. And then, of course, at the bottom, you can buy the books. If you want a digital copy of the books in ebook instead of the physical copy, just let us know and we send you a PDF through your email. And then, of course, this website was finished not that long ago, so some of the pages aren't super full yet, but they will be. This is our forum we set up. Nobody's, done anything yet, but you can create a new post and start a topic on whatever you like. Obviously, ideally, we'd like it to stick to mythology and graphic novel creation and art, but, freedom. Do whatever you want. Do what makes you happy. And then, as we mentioned before, we created an official chat room so that if you guys start deciding you want to hang out with each other, you'll be able to talk to each other. So that is the entire website, and I don't have a whole lot else to discuss, actually. So
I don't either. Seems pretty quiet night tonight. I think it's because it's Thursday, so we might have more. We might have a game tomorrow night, maybe, and try to get people
interested. But yeah, it was still nice talking to everybody tonight. We appreciate anyone who either stopped by or who is going to watch this video after the fact. Please share our page, share our website, our social media, whatever you feel like. I'm on Reddit pretty regularly, so you can talk to us there too. We will be back here again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do you want to tell them the times?
Yeah, tomorrow night will be 7 o'clock again, and we'll stay on as long as we have the interest and stuff, and we'll just go over this again, and if there's more people and want to have a game, we'll have a little game tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Is it the same hours for Saturday as well, or is that different?
Saturday is earlier, so it's going to be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's for DandyCon. And then on Sunday, it's going to be probably another early one, like 11 to 1 again.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you'll be able to see us then. And then, as usual, next Friday, we will have our live stream on our Facebook page and Twitch. But once again, thank you to CouchCon for hosting this event for us. We truly appreciate it and appreciate the fact that you gave creators somewhere to go once all the conventions were canceled. We appreciate anyone who either watched this live or watches it after the fact. And hopefully we'll see everyone tomorrow.
Yep, thank you everybody. Have a good night.